Heartworm. It's not a death sentence. All right, heartworm disease is a progressive, serious disease that actually does have the potential to be a life-threatening illness if it goes undetected and untreated. What it is it's basically a small parasitic worm that actually kind of looks thread-like, and you've probably seen pictures around your vet's offices of a heart that's kind of split in half, dissected, and what you'll see is these little tiny thread-like creatures inside of there. That is what heartworm is. That affects dogs all throughout North America. It is actually transferred to dogs through mosquitoes. They actually put what's called microfilaria into the dog's system that flourish in the heart, lungs, and arteries. And back in the past, just probably 10 years ago, this didn't affect as many dogs in Northeast Ohio as you would see down in the southern states, because it's only warm, or it used to be only warm, 6 months out of the year. So you would have your dog on prevention for 6 months, and then you would take them off for 6 months. But now what we're seeing is as the months stay warmer, longer, we have to keep our animals on heartworm preventative 12 months out of the year. We can still get bit by a mosquito, unfortunately, in October because the months are staying progressively warmer. So this became a real problem up here, largely following the great migration of animals up from Louisiana following Hurricane Katrina. So what we saw was all these rescue groups went down, and it was amazing the amount of animals that were rescued following the floods after the hurricane. But at the same time, they brought with them illnesses that we weren't seeing as rampant up here as we do now. So where we would only see in our shelters over the 15 years that I've been doing this, we used to only see a couple of dogs come in a year that might be heartworm positive. Now we might be treating upwards of 15, 16, 17 dogs a year coming through our shelter doors, and that is a huge uptick in what we had seen in the past. So these little worms basically fill the heart, arteries, and lungs of the animals. So some of the symptoms are exactly what you would expect them to be. Coughing, shortness of breath, loss of appetite, lethargy. That would be after the dog has experienced even a short amount of physical activity. The dog may be out of breath or want to lounge about, or not just have that same energy that you're used to seeing in your dog. So those are some of the more common symptoms. They can range from very mild to to moderate to extreme cases, and oftentimes can be confused in shelters sometimes with things like kennel cough. Treatment, though not necessarily inexpensive, is highly effective. So if you notice those symptoms in your dog, what you want to do is go and discuss it with your vet, run a test. If the test comes back positive, then you'll begin a treatment plan with your veterinarian. This typically involves a series of injections given a month apart, and once done, actually has been proven to be very, very effective in the treatment of dogs. Now, the cost can range anywhere from $600 to well over $1,000, depending on how far the disease has progressed within the dog. So really make sure you annually get your dog on a preventative, and always get that heartworm test to ensure that you know what's going on with your dog at any time. The treatment begins with one shot, and then 30 days later, the dog will will have to come back for 48 hours, where it'll get one shot on one day, and 24 hours later receives the second shot. Our treatment rate has been so successful, actually, that we have kind of changed our protocol. In the past, we would put a dog in a foster home for a month while waiting for its second round of treatments. But now we found that the treatment rate is so high, and the success rate for that treatment is so great, that we've allowed them to be adopted out following their first treatment. We then schedule with the adoptive family to come back in a month to receive the subsequent treatments. This has worked out really well. It's allowed the dogs to adjust to life in their new home, to find a loved one, and just immediately begin that process of being with a family. And it's been incredible. Max, one of the dogs that we're going through right now, is still looking for that forever home, and if anybody were interested in adopting, they could definitely find out more about this great 6-year-old dog that we just absolutely fell in love with here. You can also, if you're interested, learn about becoming a foster home by attending either an orientation or finding more out on our website at www.friendshipapl.org. We have orientations every month for both becoming a volunteer and becoming a foster family for one of our dogs. If you would like to make a donation or any kind of contribution to the care and upkeep of animals that may have heartworm or other serious illnesses that we take in at the shelter, you can definitely text to donate at 41444. You just have to text the word friendship to that number. Once again, 41444, or visit our website at www.friendshipapl.org/donate. And once again, just the best treatment is prevention. So talk with your veterinarian about how you can make sure your dog is safe from things like heartworm.